As the sun glimmers down on White House Field on a gorgeous Friday evening here on the elbow of Massachusetts, the Harbor Hawks are starting to find their rhythm a little bit. They've won 2 of the last 3 as they're set to battle the Harwich Mariners for the 3rd time in 6 days. Harwich, a team Hyannis has already beat once in one of their 2 wins in 2019, and they're set to take them on at White House Field for the first time this season. Looking at the Western Division, what seemed like a long climb up the cellar for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks has now been cut to just a short trek. Hyannis, once again, has won 2 of their last 3, 7-2 in a win against Harwich back on Sunday at McKeon Park, as well as a 10-3 victory over the Falmouth Commodores at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth earlier this week. And tonight, with a Hyannis team that's really starting to find their rhythm, they turn to their ace, Tyler Madison, set to make what will technically be his 2nd appearance on Cape Cod, 3rd if you go back to what was called a rainout against the Commodores, as he had a 4-inning start cut short in which he allowed just 1 earned run, still struck out 5. And opposing him, Connor Seckler out of Missouri State for the Harwich Mariners, making his 3rd appearance on Cape Cod for a kid who did not make a single start in his time at Missouri State, either in 2018 or 2019. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Mariners on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And with that, we welcome you in. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe here with you from a beautiful White House Field on a Friday night. And Brendan, just to kind of look at the trend, Hyannis has really been rolling, and it hasn't just been the offense in the last couple of wins, but it's been the pitching as well. Sam Thorson put together a nice start in the Harwich win back on Sunday. A good outing from both Connor Ash and Ben Abram to close it out earlier this week against Falmouth. And tonight, what more could you ask for sending Madison out there?
Absolutely, and to try and keep the ball rolling, that's exactly the guy you want on the mound. Things have been trending upward for Hyannis in a good way, both offensively, defensively, and on the mound as well. A couple of new faces in the lineup. We saw Lucas Dunn the other night, and tonight it's the addition of Rowdy Jordan, who's playing in center field tonight for Coach Chad Gassman. So we'll see what he has to offer in his Cape League debut, but certainly these new faces helping and the pitching staff coming together, the offense hard-hitting balls, and we'll see. 10 runs in the last game, so things are definitely looking in the right direction.
Rowdy Jordan, who just finished up his 2019 campaign at Mississippi State, as the Bulldogs went on to Omaha to play in the College World Series, a 52-15 season for Rowdy Jordan's ball club. But now he's here in Hyannis hitting 2nd tonight and playing center field. And this is a kid, Brendan, we've been talking about it. He had success. The Mississippi State ball club as a whole had success. And just another good reinforcement along with Lucas Dunn, who, like you talked about, was added earlier this week.
Definitely, and we saw him a little bit in batting practice. He got a couple rounds in. He was spraying some balls to right center field and a couple to left center, so has some opposite field pop as well. So we'll see what his bat can bring in the lineup. He's hitting at the top of the order tonight, so we'll see him right here in the 1st inning.
Rowdy Jordan playing center field tonight, a switch hitter from Mississippi State, and we'll see what he has in store, like you said. But speaking of what's in store, let's go back to yesterday, because yesterday was an off day for the entire league, but didn't consist of tanning at the beach. Every team made their way out to Fenway Park for Cape Cod's annual Fenway Day for the Cape Cod League workout out at the glorious Fenway Park. And Hyannis was an early morning workout. They went right about 9 o'clock, and a lot of these guys talked about how fun it was. They talked about how cool of an experience it was, and not just for them, but cool for everybody that had a chance to go, but more focusing on the player part of it. Some guys put on some really impressive shows in batting practice. I mean, we talked about Brooks Carlson, Trevor Hoover. Those guys sprayed the balls all around the yard, but none more stood out than Hunter Goodman, who put 4 balls over the monster from the right side of the plate, 2 of them going out onto Yawkey Way. So to stick on Hunter for a second, we've seen him take BP here on Cape Cod, and clearly it translated to a big league ballpark.
Definitely, and with the 36 high-foot wall at Fenway, 310 distance-wise, Goodman, like you said, put some balls out onto the Lansdowne Street over the wall at Fenway, so definitely had some power from the right side of the plate, and the scouts who were on hand were very impressed.
Well, an off day yesterday and a unique off day at that. There haven't been too many of them so far in 2019, but here on this Friday night, we're back to baseball on the Cape. Hyannis and Harwich set to square off at 6:30 p.m., and we'll have that for you along with lineups on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at White House Field, just moments away from first pitch here between the Harwich Mariners and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in what will be Game 13 for the boys in blue and orange. Connor Seckler on the mound for the Harwich Mariners, the right-hander out of Missouri State, towing the slab and getting ready to go. And he'll face a Harbor Hawk lineup that goes like this. Anthony Servideo leading off from the left side, followed by Rowdy Jordan making his Harbor Hawk debut. Trevor Hauver hitting third, Hunter Goodman in the cleanup spot, Mitch McIntyre hitting fifth, Lucas Dunn making his second start and hitting sixth. And the final third of the lineup, Jared DeSantolo, Brooks Carlson, and Adam Hackenberg. So Servideo digs into the left side of the box. And the righty Seckler ready out of the windup. Roxon deals the first pitch. Fastball on the inside corner, good for a strike. 6:27 first pitch time here at White House Field in Harwich, 75 degrees on the eastern part of Cape Cod. A 1, ground ball right side on a hop to the first baseman Cavadas. He takes it himself to the bag a couple of steps, and he beats Servideo for the first out of the ball game. So that does it for Servideo. And a welcome to Hyannis for Rowdy Jordan, who just finished his sophomore year out of Mississippi State, making his first start for Chad Gassman's ball club. A switch hitter who can play infield and outfield. He's in center field here tonight. As Seckler's ready with the first offering, fastball up high. Harwich defense tonight, left to right in the outfield, Galland, Weimer Jr., and Mike Ludwig. As Seckler works quickly, fires home, fastball right at the knees, and the count evens up. Same way along the infield, Cam Thompson, Hal Hughes, Christian Fedko, and Nico Cavadas. Pat Winkel behind the plate, and once again, Connor Seckler on the mound. He fires out of the windup. That's a breaking ball that just hits the top of the letters for strike 2. So Rowdy Jordan finished with a .290 average, 21 extra base hits, 6 of those bombs in 2019. The pitch, swinging a pop-up foul, left side out of play. Jordan was a staple in the Bulldogs lineup throughout all of 2019. Played in every single game, started in all but one game. He wiggles the bat above his left shoulder, an open stance. The offerings down and away. Blocked by the catcher Winkel, gloving it over on the right side of the batter's box. It's 2-2 with 1 out. Gorgeous, clear-skied Friday evening here in Harwich. 2-2 from Seckler. Fastball inside, and the count runs full. And Jordan's got the ability to steal bases, too. 11 for 13 in 2019. Now the windup and the offering. Line drive right side, right at the second baseman. Fedko takes a step to his left and puts it away.
Well, loud out from Jordan there in his debut at bat, but that's the kind of contact you want. It hit it on a rope right at the second baseman. Fedko, he made a nice play. Didn't have to move too much, but nonetheless, hard hit ball right at him.
So here comes Trevor Hauver. As Hyannis tonight, wearing their road blue jerseys, orange lettering and numbering, blue pinstripe pants with blue belts and blue helmets. Offering to Hauver, fastball outside, it's 1-0. For Harwich, well, it's Red Jersey Friday as they wear the red Cape Cod jerseys, white lettering, and their Harwich Mariners cream pants with the red and white stirrups. Offering, line drive into the gap in right center field. Over goes Ludwig. He can't make the play, and that's going to roll. Hauver around first. He's thinking two. He's going to stand up no problem as he's in there with a 2-out double to begin the top half of the first as Hyannis puts their first runner on the board.
Well, Trevor picking right up where he left off in the last game that Hyannis was featured in. Game in which he had 7 RBIs, and right there, another piece of hard contact to double into the gap. And right away, Hyannis again, a runner in scoring position.
So we talked about in the open how Hyannis is starting to find their groove. And their number 3 hitter, Trevor Hauver, kind of fits the mold as he's starting to find his. That'll bring up Hunter Goodman out of Memphis. Third baseman Thompson in with the bag as Goodman watches one down for ball 1. But to go back to Hauver, Brendan just alluded to it a minute ago. 2 for 4 against Falmouth in the 10-3 win. 7 RBIs, and 4 of them came from a grand slam down the right field line. That was his first long ball of the summer. He idles off of second, so the pitch to Goodman is swung on and missed, and the count evens. So Hauver now stands at a .257 average for 2019. But that 7 RBI performance put him in a tie for 4th place in the Cape Cod League in RBIs. The 9 on the season for Trevor as he stands at second. Pitch to Goodman, foul back. And Hunter, again, another guy who has the ability to put on an absolute show. He did so yesterday in the off day. Once again, he hit 4 long balls during his 2 rounds of BP, 8 pitches each at Fenway Park. All of them over the Green Monster. 2 cleared the Monster and went out to Yawkey Way. 1-2. Swing and a high pop-up towering into shallow center field. In comes Weimer, drifts over to his left a bit, and makes the grab for the final out of the inning. So a 2-out double from Trevor Hauver, but that's all the Harbor Hawks could muster up. They leave a man on second base, no runs on 1 hit, no errors in the top of the first, and it's 0-0 with Tyler Madison set to take the mound for Hyannis in the bottom of the first. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. The 6'4" right-hander Tyler Madison on the slab for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as we bring you back for the bottom of the first here at White House Field. And Tyler set to make his technical second outing of the summer. Third if you include a rainout from just over a week ago. And he'll face a Harwich Mariners lineup that goes like this. Chris Gallen leading off, playing left field, followed by Joey Weimer Jr., Daniel Cabrera in the 3 spot with Nico Cavadas hitting 4th, Christian Fedko in the 5 spot, Mike Ludwig hitting 6th and playing right field, Patrick Winkle doing the catching tonight for Harwich, and the final 2 in the order, LSU shortstop Hal Hughes and Kansas State third baseman Cam Thompson rounding out the 9. Throw down by Adam Hackenberg to second base as Gallen will stride to the plate, and we're set to go for the bottom of the first. So Madison set to face the first team not named the Falmouth Commodores so far this season. Comes off a sophomore campaign at Bryant, 80 in a third innings, 15 starts, 9-1 record with a 3.47 ERA. He throws the hands above his head and now is set to go. Wind up in the offering, fastball up high, it's 1-0 to the hitter Gallant. So Madison, a good fastball, low to mid-90s. Will also mix in a changeup and a curve. Gets the sign from Hackenberg and deals. Ground ball out toward the third baseman DeSantolo. Charges in, fields on a hop, and throws wide of the first baseman Carlson. It gets by him. Gallen's thinking too, and he's going to stand up right there at second base. So Chris Gallen catches a break on a 2-hopper to Jared DeSantolo down the third baseline. Just like that, Harwich has got a runner aboard to begin the first.
Now, it was a tough play for DeSangelo. It looked like he might have been caught in the middle for just a second there on whether or not to charge that ball or let it come to him. He decided to play it on a short hop into the glove and just misfired to Carlson at first.
I'll bring up Joey Weimer, another right-handed hitter for Harwich. He hails from the University of Cincinnati. Got that Craig Counsell-like stance from the right side of the box. Bat wiggling above his head, offering from Madison, pop up behind home plate. Hackenberg's going to give it a look, races back toward the fence, and it sails out of play. So Madison has technically, again, thrown 5 innings so far on the summer. That first start in Falmouth, he gave up the leadoff home run to Hayden Cantrell of the Commodores. But after that, a total of 2 hits, just the 1 run, no walks, and 6 punch-outs in what was a 9-9 tie back on June the 14th. Madison will work from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. Gives Gallen a look at first, fires home, breaking ball taps foul. And if you date back to what would have been his second start, back against Falmouth again, only that time it took place at McKeon Park. He went 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. But that game was called after just under 4 innings, was tied at 1-1, but Hyannis and Falmouth are going to have to start from scratch at a later date. The Madison facing an Eastern Division foe, the Harwich Mariners. Offering, up high with a fastball. It's a ball and 2 strikes. So Weimer's having himself quite the summer, too. He's tied for 8th in the Cape in average and tied for 4th in stolen bases with 5. So Galland and Weimer have been quite the dynamic duo for the Mariners at the top of the order thus far. 1-2. Ground ball out to the shortstop. Servideo fields cleanly, fires to first. High throw. Tag applied by Carlson, and they're going to say he made it safely. So Brooks Carlson had to jump off the bag, made the snag, put the tag down on Weimer. The first base umpire is going to say that the Cincinnati product hit the bag in time. So not an ideal start for Tyler Madison, although by no real fault of his own. A couple of wide or high throws from the left side of the infield have put 2 Mariner runners aboard to begin the bottom of the first, although the officiating crew is going to have a word about it.
Yeah, again, Servideo had to come in on that ball. Looked like he rushed it a bit, getting out of the glove that time with the speed of Weimer being flashed down the first baseline. Carlson made a nice play to try and apply the tag on the back. Not sure if he got him in time, although that's what the discussion's about right now.
Oh, they're going to call him out, so they review it. A couple of the other umpires might have got a better angle of it, and Weimer's erased. So Madison catches some nice help there, although moving down to third with that play was Chris Galland. 6-3 put out. Servideo had to charge in, make a quick throw to first, but Carlson put down a nice tag on the other side of the play as well. Man on third, 1 down, 0-0 in the bottom of the first inning. It'll bring up Daniel Cabrera out of LSU. So the umpire behind home plate puts his mask back on as Cabrera digs into the left side of the box. And Madison will go back to the windup. Gives the arm lift above his head, and he'll fire home. Fastball down, blocked on the chest by the catcher, Hackenberg. The Hyannis defense tonight, left to right in the outfield, Trevor Hauver, Rowdy Jordan, Mitch McIntyre. In the same way in the infield, Jared DeSantolo, Anthony Servideo, Lucas Dunn, and Brooks Carlson. One more time, Hackenberg behind the plate, Madison on the rubber. Cabrera hitting .231 coming into the contest. He's got an open stance, sporting those LSU purple and gold cleats as he cuts right through a Madison offering. 1-1 the count in the bottom of the first. DeSantolo playing even at the bag at third, like he often does. Rest of the Harbor Hawk infield playing back and behind their bags. 1-1. Late swing just gave a weak wave and a miss at it, and it's 1-2 to the LSU Tiger, Daniel Cabrera. Cabrera hasn't spent too much time on the Cape so far. He's only appeared in 4 games, but he had quite the outing against Hyannis back last Sunday. Madison's ready, the 1-2. Just low, and the count evens up. In that contest, Cabrera went 3 for 4, had a double, a home run, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. It was just a triple short of the cycle. Offering, swing and a miss, strike 3. Cabrera doesn't get off to as hot of a start this time as Madison records his first punch out and the second out of the bottom of the first.
Drops in a nice breaking ball down and away that time, and Cabrera had a few lackluster swings in that at bat, and that time finished him off with a breaking ball downstairs.
So Nico Cavadas from Notre Dame now digs in. Another left-handed hitter for Harwich. Cavadas the second of 5 in manager Steve Englert's lineup. Pitch from Madison, swing and a miss. I'll tell you what, Brendan. The Notre Dame first baseman looks out at Rowdy Jordan in center field making his first start. And Rowdy certainly has a glove, but he's probably more than thrilled to see it's not Teodosio out there. Madison will come home. It's in the dirt, ball 1, and the count evens up. But if you date back to game 2 of that doubleheader back on Sunday at McKeon Park, it was Cavadas who had that home run taken away by Teodosio, who made what's been maybe the best defensive play by any Hyannis fielder so far this season. Went all the way back to the wall in right center and just took one back into the ballpark. Madison misses down, it's 2-1.
And the amount of athletic ability it takes to be able to make a play like that, I'd go a step further than what you said, Lyle, about making probably what is the best play of any Hyannis defender this season, but I'd put that up there at the top of the Cape League.
Madison's ready, the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and the count evens up at 2-2. Well, it's certainly on the short list. There's no question about that. Gage Workman out of Brewster was actually featured on SportsCenter's top 10 just a week and a half or so ago, but Teodosio has to be up there with some of the other plays as Cavadas grounds one to the right side, moving to his left. Dunn, he flips it underhand to Carlson at first, and that ends the inning. So Tyler Madison, like clockwork, another scoreless inning. This time it starts the bottom of the first here at White House Field in Harwich. 0-0 through an inning of play. We'll be back for the top of the second when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Five, six, seven due up for Hyannis in the top of the second here from White House Field as Connor Seckler toes the rubber for inning number 2 of his evening. McIntyre, the number 5 hitter in the order. He'll be the 4th lefty to go against the righty Seckler. BYU product taps the plate a couple times, now into his stance. The offering home, big cut and a miss. Fastball right at the belt level. Seckler, a 3-pitch guy. Low 90s fastball, also mix in a changeup and a curve. He gets the sign from the catcher Winkle and delivers. This is up and away, and it's 1-1. McIntyre comes into the day hitting .219. 3 RBIs. He was 0 for 4 against Falmouth, but stole a base and scored a run. Offering, foul tip back into Winkle's glove, and it's 1-2 to the BYU outfielder Mitch McIntyre. Seckler making his 3rd start of the summer. Gazes over his mitt, and now he'll come home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. On 4 pitches, he gets McIntyre looking, or rather swinging, and that's the first strikeout of the afternoon from the Missouri State right-hander. Now it'll bring up Lucas Dunn as Seckler worked that at bat like the blink of an eye. 4 pitches, but felt like if you turned away for half a second, you'd miss the at-bat. Some good fastballs with a little bit of arm side run there. He fires to Dunn, swings and misses through it. And Seckler's given up the 1 hit so far. He gave up the Hauver double. That was back in the top of the first, but aside from that, hasn't had much issues so far. Misses up high and the count evens. So Seckler, a guy that doesn't do much of any starting in his 2 seasons at Missouri State. Wind up and the pitch. Curveball on the outside corner, it's 1-2. He's been primarily a closer for the Bears in his 2 seasons of college ball. The offering to Dunn. Upstairs, and it's 2-2. So if you look at the 2 seasons for the righty Seckler, he's made 59 appearances. There's a bullpen arm that gets used a lot, but never to begin a ball game. 2-2. Dunn pops it up into shallow right field. Taking a step back onto the outfield grass, Christian Fedko. He makes the grab, and there's 2 away.
Well, no issues so far in this inning for Seckler. Got McIntyre to wave and miss for the first out of the inning, and that time some lazy contact from Lucas Dunn, just popping one up right side. No problem for Fedko to put him away.
So now it's Jared DeSantolo out of Florida Atlantic. He's had himself quite the productive summer through 12 games for the Harbor Hawks. 375 with 2 RBIs. That includes a 2-hit day in the 10-3 win at Falmouth. Seckler's offering. pop up left side into foul ground, giving Chase Thompson. He's going to watch it sail onto the hill that resides just beyond the third base fence here at White House Field. You could say the same about the hill on the first base side. Also sits right behind the dugout where some scattered Hyannis fans sit atop with some lawn chairs. DeSantillo back into the box. Seckler fires home. Fastball right on the outside corner for strike two. So he's been hitting his spots about as well as he can here in the second inning. Strikeout to McIntyre. The weak pop out to Dunn. He's already ahead 0-2 to DeSantillo. Here comes the pitch. Misses outside. So Seckler, once again, a closer by trade at Missouri State. 6 saves this past season in 2019. He had 8 in his freshman year to go along with a 2.98 ERA. Now the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Owl DeSantillo. So 0-0 here in the top of the second. DeSantillo, the 7th man to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at that fastball. 2 strikeouts in the inning for the righty Seckler, and he sets the Harbor Hawks down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. One Harwich arm dealing. We'll see if the quality Hyannis arm Tyler Madison has much in response, as he's been nothing short of dominant through his first 2 starts here in 2019. Have that on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We're back for the bottom of the second here at White House Field in Harwich. It's 0-0 through an inning and a half between the Mariners and the Harbor Hawks. And Connor Seckler, the Harwich right-hander, saw 4 in the first come to the plate and then retired the Harbor Hawks in order to begin the top of the second. And Madison, so far much more of the same. Saw 4 batters in the first, and we'll see what he has in store against the 5-6-7 for the hometown Harwich Ball Club. It'll be Christian Fedko out of UConn digging in from the right side. Fedko, the third of 4 right-handed hitters in Steve Englert's lineup. Knees bent with the bat rested on his right shoulder, now slightly above. First offering, good fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Fedko hitting .370 on the summer. 1 home run, that came back in the 3-1 loss just 2 days ago against the Whitey Red Sox. The windup and the pitch. Fastball got him on that right wrist. The Fedko shaking out that right arm a little bit. He's going to trot down to first, trying to tough it out. And time's going to be called. They're going to check on him briefly here, but he just shakes it off and appears to be okay. So that's the second base runner that's been issued by Madison so far. There was an error by DeSantillo in the top of the first, and now he gives up a hit-by pitch to Fedko to begin the second. In the first, he retired the next 3 hitters in order after the leadoff runner reached base. We'll see what he has in store here. Goes back to the stretch and ready to fire to Mike Ludwig. Ball that gets by the glove of Hackenberg, taking off for second. Fedko, throw to Servideo, the tag applied late. Sliding in safely with plenty of time. The second baseman, Fedko, as he puts a Harwich runner in scoring position. That's the second one today.
Well, I'll tell you what, even though Fedko was able to move up to second base, a heck of a throw from Hackenberg, well behind the plate, and still fired a strike down to second base. On target, too.
So Ludwig hitting from the left side. Madison gives a look at the runner at second, and he'll come home. Swing and a miss at a good fastball. So Hyannis has been playing some really, really clean baseball. If you date back to that 7-2 win against Harwich last Sunday. They had the loss in Wareham, sure, but they've won 2 of their last 3. And they've scored 17 runs combined in those 2 wins. Pitch. Line drive into left field. It's going to fall in front of Hoover for a base hit. Fedko will stop at third as the relay's coming in quickly. But Harwich has runners on the corners as the first hit of the day is produced by the Mariner Ball Club off the bat of Mike Ludwig.
Good piece of hitting that time from Ludwig going the other way. It was a fastball from Madison on the outer part of the plate. Turned it around, sent it through the gap into left. Nice play from Hoover to make sure he kept it in front and got the relay in quick to DeSantolo.
So first and third, Madison in a little bit of trouble with runners on the corners and nobody down, as it'll bring up Pat Winkle, the catcher out of UConn. So a couple of Huskies in the lineup tonight. Winkle's college teammate Fedko stands at third, and Mike Ludwig out of Wake Forest at first. So Madison from the stretch gets the sign from Hackenberg and delivers. Ground ball to Carlson at first. He steps on the bag, now throws to second. The tag applied by Servideo. He's safe. Run comes home to score on the play. Fedko scores from third. And it's 1-0 Harwich in the bottom of the second inning, but a close tag applied by Servideo at second base. Ultimately ruled safe.
That was a nice play from Carlson, who had to lean to his right to try and knock that one down. He does so, tagged the bag at first, fired to second, and just not in time, the tag from Servideo.
So Madison issues his second run of the summer. Again, technically. As there's a runner on second, that's Ludwig. The hitter at the plate, Hal Hughes from LSU. The offering, it's a breaking ball down and away. So one more time for Madison. 5 innings, a 1-run ball on 2 hits with 6 strikeouts against Falmouth in his first start of the summer. Then he had a 4-inning outing cut short and ultimately not count due to a rainout at Hyannis between the Harbor Hawks and the Commodores. But here in the second, he's got 1 out. Man on, 1-0 Harwich the score as another breaking ball misses low. Hal Hughes started 63 games at shortstop in his freshman year. And he stepped in to replace the original Tigers shortstop, Josh Smith. His season ended with a back injury. Hughes, the hitter at the plate, he watches one down, it's 3-0. So his freshman year dating back to 2018. He hit just .221 in that time. But in 2019, he got 52 games as a starter at shortstop, although still struggled with the bat. 177 average with just 2 extra base hits. And here on the Cape, it's been a little bit of a struggle offensively as well. Madison's 3-0, called strike. Hal Hughes dropped the bat, started to jog down to first, but he's brought right back. Sometimes hitters will try to sell those, but Hughes didn't fool anybody. Hughes, another guy who's been on the Cape just under a week. Him and Daniel Cabrera, his college teammate, came in at about the same time. Cabrera struck out in his first at bat. Now the 3-1 to Hughes. Ground ball right side to his left. Lucas Dunn slides, can't make the stop. It trickles into right field. Around third, the runner Ludwig, the throw coming home. No tag applied, and scoring safely from second is Mike Ludwig. RBI base knock for the hitter Hal Hughes, and Harwich makes it 2-0 in the bottom of the second.
Well, Lucas Dunn was shaded a bit toward the bag at second, had to range a long way to the left to try and get to that ball. Made a valiant effort on the slide to try and knock it down, but it just got in between the bicep on his left arm and the rib cage, snuck under the glove and into right field.
Well, this is the most trouble Madison's endured so far in his time on the Cape. Of course, just his third start. But if you count the outing that isn't in the box score, as the pitch to the number 9 hitter Cam Thompson's fouled back, if you count the start that isn't technically in the books, as well as his first start against Falmouth, gave up 2 runs combined in those 9 innings. It's already given up 2 runs here through less than 2 in Harwich at White House Field. Carlson holding on the runner. Pickoff from Madison. Gets by the first baseman. Trickles over to the fence down the right field line. Down to second base, Hal Hughes. He'll put the brakes on right there. And Harwich, another runner in scoring position, and a handful of defensive miscues for the Harbor Hawks early. But Madison, just a wide pickoff throw to the right of Carlson. Couldn't make the stop, trying to hop over the first baseman, Hal Hughes, in time. And it sails down the right field line, giving an additional 90 feet to the runner, Hughes. The hitter, Thompson, hitting 172 coming into the contest. He hails from Kansas State. Madison out of the stretch, the offering. Ground ball on a couple of hops to Dunn at second. Fields cleanly, flips over to first in time for the second out. Hal Hughes moves down to third on the play. And that'll flip the lineup back to the top for Chris Galland out of Boston College.
Well, that time a much more routine play for Dunn, just taking a couple steps to his left this time. Fields it on a nice hop and an easy throw to first.
So Chris Galland, the hitter. He reached on an error back in the first inning, was stranded at third base after Madison retired the next three hitters. He's back to the windup, gets the sign, and he'll fire home. Breaking ball in the dirt, stopped by the catcher, Hackenberg. And fielding's been a little bit of a struggle for the Harbor Hawks through the first 12 games of the season. Currently, they rank last in the Cape Cod League in fielding percentage, just a .952 clip. Harwich on the other side of the baseball, they rank second in that category. Madison ready. He'll fire home with the 1-0. Swing and a high pop-up into shallow right field. Dunn going back. McIntyre coming in. He calls everybody off and makes the grab on the run. So that'll do it in the bottom of the second, but two Harwich runs come across. An RBI ground out from Pat Winkle, an RBI single from Hal Hughes. Makes it 2-0 Mariners through 2 innings of play. We'll be back for the third on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
We head to the top of the third from White House Field in Harwich, with Hyannis coming back to the plate, trailing by a couple. The hometown Mariners out in front 2-0 as the right-hander Connor Seckler has cruised through his first couple of frames this evening. Hyannis just one hit to speak of, the Trevor Hopper double, but it's Brooks Carlson, Adam Hackenberg, and Anthony Servideo due up in this inning to try and change that number. So Seckler out of the windup, waiting for Carlson to dig in from the right side. First pitch of the inning from the right-hander, fastball cut and a miss, strike one. Well, Carlson coming into tonight hitting 195. Racked up 4 RBIs as well. Seckler peers over the glove. Out of the windup, the 0-1. Breaking ball dropped in, belt high, strike two. And we talked about it a little bit in the pregame show, Lyle. The workout day at Fenway Park yesterday, Brooks Carlson was able to get one over the monster, putting it into the first row of seats as that's in there on the outside corner, strike three. Carlson goes down looking for the first out of the third. Big fastball from Seckler. That'll bring up Adam Hackenberg.
Yeah, just a nice paint job there from Seckler right at the bottom of the zone. Carlson didn't love the call. He walks back to the dugout. But yeah, you talked about it at Fenway. He got one over the monster. If you ask him, he'll say, yeah, I'm going to call it two, because he hit one that was just a couple of feet foul that was absolutely scorched down the line.
So here's the big catcher out of Clemson, Adam Hackenberg. Watches the first pitch, breaking ball spiked off to the right of the plate. Adam had himself quite a day yesterday at Fenway of his own. Here comes the 1-0 from Seckler. Fastball down, a called strike at the knees. And the count levels at 1-1. So Adams averages sky high, 400. Racked up a home run here on Cape Cod as well as a couple RBIs. 1-1 fastball misses down. And this is a Hyannis offense. Although the ball club has racked up just 2 wins, they're moving up the ladders in the offensive ranks, 6th in hits and 6th in runs. Hackenberg awaits a 2-1, swung on and popped up into the shallow right center field area, coming on strong Weimer, and he will call everyone off to make the grab. So that'll bring up Anthony Servideo now with quickly 2 down. Already 0 for 1. He bounced one over to Cavadas at first in his first time up. Packed house tonight at White House Field. Grandstands just to our right, and grandstands as well diagonally from us down the third base line filled, as well as the grandstands just behind us around home plate. Servideo from the left side watches a fastball that's spiked in front of the plate, 1-0. Lyle talked about the 2 hills that reside just beyond both dugouts on either side. Filled about halfway. Beautiful night for baseball in Harwich, Mass. The 1-0. Fastball chopped down the right side, foul. The count even at 1-1 to Servideo. 2 for just his first 21 here on Cape Cod. Ole Miss product trying to change his fortunes as he awaits a 1-1. Breaking ball, checked his swing, but a called strike. Zeckler's featured that breaking ball quite a bit through his first couple frames tonight. 1 strike away from quickly working out of the third. The 1-2 by Servideo is sent in the air to left center, ranging back Weimer toward the wall. It's going to get over his head. Bouncing onto the warning track, Servideo cruises into second base as the throw is cut off, and it's a 2-out double for the Ole Miss second baseman.
It's a really nice piece of hitting, too. I mean, just slaps one the other way and puts some lift on it as well. It 2-hopped the wall out there in the gap in left center. And White House Field, not a small ballpark either. 330 down the lines, 400 to center. But Servideo, like we talked about, Brendan, you mentioned looking to jumpstart his summer a little bit as he was just 2 for his first 21. There's a good way to do it. Just short of a home run, 2-out extra base hit that puts a Harbor Hawk runner in scoring position.
Well, that's Servideo's 3rd hit of the summer, the 2nd for Hyannis in this ball game tonight. And here's the new face, Rowdy Jordan, as he watches a fastball down and away. So Rowdy getting his 2nd look at Zeckler and getting his 2nd plate appearance in a Hyannis uniform here on Cape Cod. He helped out a Mississippi State ball club and had quite a successful season, now trying to help Hyannis change their fortunes around and make a comeback in the Western Division. Another fastball misses down and in, and the count moves to 2-0. Trevor Hauver loosening up in the on-deck area, hoping for another chance. He's been swinging a hot bat lately. But first, Rowdy Jordan would have to find a way aboard with Servideo out at second base. The 2-0. Fastball inside out swing lifted down the left field line, tailing off into foul ground, and it will get out of play. So 2-1 to Rowdy. Zeckler working from the stretch, sporting those old-fashioned stirrup socks as he stares down at his catcher, Winkle for the sign, right arm dangling. Comes set at the belt. Couple looks back towards Servideo at second. Here comes the 2-1. Breaking ball inside. Dusting back Jordan a bit off the plate. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So Zeckler trying to work himself back into a count here to the left-handed hitting Jordan. Here's the pitch. Fastball again. Sent off to the left, out of play. Well, Jordan has been hitting and hitting for quite a while. If you go back to his high school days, claimed the Alabama 7A batting title as a sophomore. So even back before he reached MSU, which he chose over Auburn and Georgia Tech, he's been swinging a good bat from the left side. The 2-2 on the way, fastball high. Or rather, that's ball 4. The count was full. So 2 runners aboard now, and that'll give Trevor Hauver a chance here in the 3rd.
And Rowdy worked a good at bat, and he didn't have a bad at bat his first time up either. Worked it to a full count, hit one on the screws just right at Christian Fedko at second base. This time works it to a full count, fouled a couple away, and saw one up high from Zeckler as he extends the inning.
So 2 aboard. Servideo at second, Rowdy Jordan at first. Hauver into the plate, 1 for 1 tonight. Second time facing Seckler, and he rips one right at the second baseman, Fetko, who makes the stab to end the inning. So a good piece of hard contact from Trevor Hoffer, but Hyannis strands two. They still trail it by 2. It's 2-0 Harwich going to the bottom half of the third when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the third here from White House Field. It's 2-0 Harwich out in front. Tyler Madison back to the mound for his third inning of work, making what is technically Lila's second start of the summer. We've talked about that time and time again, but first time making a start against a team that is not the Falmouth Commodores. As Joey Weimer Jr., Daniel Cabrera, and Nico Cavadas get set to go, trying to extend upon the hometown advantage that currently stands at 2-0. First pitch is a fastball on the inside corner, a called strike. Weimer Jr. tonight 0 for 1 so far. He bounced to Servideo at shortstop his first time up. Right-hander Madison, glove set about belt high, now brings it in front of the face, kicks and delivers from the windup. A breaking ball dropped in for a strike inside half again, and it's 0-2. And Joey Weimer came into tonight hitting .313. Absolutely tearing it up for these Mariners here on Cape Cod. Madison's 0-2 pitch. Fastball up high. Couldn't entice him to go after it. So a ball and 2 strikes for Harwich. Talking about offensive ranks a little bit earlier. 5th in hits, 8th in RBIs. So a team that can hit when called upon is a 1-2 pitch. A fastball chop left side. Prickles toward foul territory, but stopped just in front of the fence. So the count will hold to the ball and 2 strikes as Weimer strides around the plate. Lights have not yet been turned on. Sun still shining. Slight breeze blowing toward right center. Weimer Jr. adjusts the sleeves on his jersey. Bat high above his head, the 1-2. Breaking ball dropped too far inside. Weimer bending back just a bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield straight up with DeSantelo playing even with the bag. Madison a shrug of the shoulders, the 2-2. Curveball tap foul. Just toward the Hyannis dugout. Right-handed hitting center fielder will stroll around the home plate area once again. Putting up a tough fight, hanging tough with 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Harwich half of the third inning. Madison ready to go again out of the windup. Another 2-2. Fastball in. Now the count swells full. Weimer Jr. having a laugh as he looked back toward Hackenberg. Thought that one was ball 4. So the Bryant Bulldog a deep breath. Gearing up for a payoff pitch. Here it is. Fastball swung on, lifted straight up out of play. Tailing back toward the concession stands here at White House Field. So still 3 balls and 2 strikes to Weimer. Cincinnati sophomore featured in center tonight for these Harwich Mariners against the Harbor Hawks. The next 3-2. Fastball again, spoiled away. So Weimer cracks a smile again as he walks around the back of Adam Hackenberg into the right-handed batter's box. So Madison receives a new baseball again, towing the rubber. Shakes off a couple signs from Hackenberg. Here comes the next 3-2. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Got him. So finally, Madison wins the battle, finishing off Weimer in a long first at bat to start this bottom of the third.
And he's got a couple good pitches in that arsenal, but missed down a couple times with the curveball, so he decided not going to mess around, just go right after him. Blows a fastball by him for the first out of the inning, and that's his second strikeout of the night.
So here's the man digging in who was the victim of the first strikeout of the night, Daniel Cabrera. That came back in the first inning. Madison's first offering to him, fastball low. We mentioned Red Shirt Friday here on Cape Cod. Cape Cod League supporting an effort for our troops. Madison winds and deals a 1-0. Breaking ball again in the dirt, well in front of home plate. Knocked down by Hackenberg, and the count moves to 2-0. So Cabrera batting in the number 3 hole tonight for Harwich. Posted a .231 average thus far, the 2-0. Fastball again, spiked. Knocked down by Hackenberg as he'll go retrieve it as it went off the glove down the third baseline. 3 balls, no strikes here to Cabrera. Madison yet to give up a walk, but has surrendered a free pass. The hit by pitch, that came to Christian Fedko. Trying to work himself back here down 3-0 the pitch. That's in for a strike, a get me over fastball. Catching the top part of the zone. Madison working with a quick pace to him, already back on the rubber. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed, a fastball low. Cabrera helped him out there. That would have been ball 4. Instead, the count runs full. Brooks Carlson hugging the line a bit down the first baseline. Here's the payoff from Madison. Fouled away off to the left. Just to the off in the distance past the press box here at White House. So Madison working with another full count. We already saw Joey Weimer put up a long at bat. Finally retired on strikes. The next payoff for Madison, here it comes. Fastball again, popped up left side, but drifting once again out of play. So Harwich mounting just 2 hits, both of them coming in the second inning. They had a runner, Chris Gowan, reach on an error in the first. But they've managed to scrap across 2 runs on 2 hits. Hyannis with the same amount, but nothing to show for it. The next 3-2. Breaking ball, chopper right side. Madison off the mound coming in from second base. Dunn flips to first, a high flip, and not in time. Carlson had to go up the ladder to get it. The toes might have come off the bag. And that will be most likely scored an error. As Daniel Cabrera reaches.
Madison's caught some really tough breaks tonight, and that was a tough play for Dunn as he had to charge pretty far in. He didn't have time to make the transfer with his right hand, so he just tried to flip it to Carlson out of his glove at first. But outside of that Mike Ludwig single, I mean, nobody's really put any hard piece of contact in play against Madison. Hal Hughes' single through the right side was a C&I. And other than that, nobody's really squared one up.
So here's Nico Cavadas batting with the runner aboard. He takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Lucas Dunn was charged with an error in the game at Falmouth a couple of nights ago. That last one was ruled a hit. So 3 now on the board for Harwich. A 1 from Madison. Runner takes off for second. Swing and a miss. Hackenberg's throw from his knees, not in time. So Cabrera in, swiping second base. So another Harwich runner in scoring position. RBI opportunity for Cavadas. He's got 6 thus far on the season. Could have had a couple more if it weren't for Bryce Teodosio back at McKeon Park. We talked about that a bit earlier. Just an outstanding catch by the Clemson outfielder. 0-2 pitch, a chopper right side again toward Lucas Dunn on the ground. Fields it on a hop. Clean fire over to first in time to Carlson, but the runner advances to third. That's Cabrera. So 2 down now to bring up Christian Fetko. But a runner just 90 feet away from stretching this lead to 3 for the Mariners.
And Madison's been in a little bit of trouble in every inning. Each time so far through the first 3 innings, a runner's reached third base. He kept everybody off the board in the first. He allowed 2 in the second, but again, that kind of unfortunate infield single from Cabrera sent him all the way to third at this point, although still just one pitch away from getting out of this one.
So here's Fetko, bat above his right shoulder, awaits the first pitch from Madison. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. So the Harwich Mariners doing a nice job capitalizing on the opportunities that have been presented to them. Few errors on the board for Hyannis. There's the 1-0 for Madison on the way. Breaking ball cut and a miss. Back foot came off the ground from Fetko. Way out in front of an off-speed pitch from Madison. Ryan Bulldog trying to limit any damage Harwich might be looking to put up on the board. Right-hander Wines fires a 1-1. Fastball, throw back down to third. It gets over the glove of DeSantolo into left field, and the run's going to come in. So make it 3-0 Mariners, and Hackenberg's been known to do that a couple times. He has tried some back picks to Brooks Carlson at first base over the course of the last few games, this time looking toward DeSantolo at third, who perhaps might have not been expecting it, and the run comes in.
Yeah, might not have been expecting it. Also a tough play with a right-handed hitter at the plate, as you really only have one window to throw from. You have to kind of get up and fire it not just over the head of the hitter, but right on point with your third baseman.
So now Fetko batting with nobody aboard as he chops one foul over toward the Harwich dugout. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Harwich leads it 3-0. So Madison back on the rubber out of the windup. Had a couple of tough breaks in the field behind him. The 1-2, fastball high. Right about head level for Fetko as Hackenberg came out of the crouch to corral it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the Bryant Bulldog has been forced to work a bit in this bottom half of the third. Fetko awaits the 2-2. Here it comes. Fastball chopped left side again, foul. As it knocks up against the fence. Ball boy will go retrieve it. So the count holds as Fetko readjusts the batting gloves and will step back into the box. So Madison stares down at Hackenberg. He's got a sign. Kicks and fires. Way up and in. Fetko spinning back out of the way. Madison struggling with that command of a fastball. He's worked a couple 3-2 counts in this inning. The right-hander forced to sweat a bit by these Harwich Mariners. The next payoff pitch on the way. Fastball again, popped up on the shallow infield. Dunn ranging back a couple steps on the grass, and will make the play to end the inning. But Harwich tacks on one more, and they make it 3-0, courtesy of an error from Adam Hackenberg. And we'll go to the top of the fourth when we come back. Hyannis trying to match on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the fourth here from Harwich and White House Field. It's the hometown Mariners on top of Hyannis, 3-0. Hunter Goodman, Mitch McIntyre, and Lucas Dunn set to go against Connor Seckler, the Missouri State right-hander. It was a long wait for him, as his Harwich Mariners worked a couple of good counts at the plate. They put up another run on the board, and he's got a 3-0 cushion. Goodman waves and misses at a first pitch breaking ball. 178 for Hunter coming into action tonight, but we mentioned the power is there. Has a couple home runs on the season. A 1 fastball misses inside. So for Hunter batting in the cleanup spot and DHing, it's all about just trying to get this bat going. A 1-1. Breaking ball cut and a miss down and away. Helped him out. Count moves to 1-2. And this Hyannis offense has been a bit up and down. Goodman awaits a 1-2. Seckler winds and deals. Check, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Made Goodman look a bit foolish, and that'll bring up Mitch McIntyre with 1 down.
And Seckler's looked pretty untouchable so far. And for a kid who hasn't made a single start in his college season, he's got 4 strikeouts already through 3 1/3. He's only given up the 2 hits with nobody coming across.
No, he's had quite some success tonight, and that'll bring up Mitch McIntyre tapping the plate a few times. Batting with nobody aboard and 1 down. First pitch, a fastball called strike at the knees. And you want to talk about some success. Well, this is the guy to look at. You mentioned Lyle didn't make a single start in his college career up to this point. There's an 0-1. Fastball sent into the gap in right center. Ranging over is Ludwig, and he gets there to make the play. And there's 2 down.
And he hit one into the gap, but probably just a little too much lift to it, giving Ludwig plenty of time to move to his right and make the grab.
So here's Lucas Dunn looking to avoid a quick top of the 4th. But getting back to Seckler for just a second. Collegiate baseball freshman All-American in 2018. And also established himself the primary guy of the Missouri State Bears bullpen. First pitch, check, swing, and he went around. Lucas Dunn offered it a breaking ball down and away. That's been Seckler's money pitch tonight. Got Hunter Goodman to wave through it for the first out of this frame. Only Dunn that time. Next pitch, fastball in the air to right field again, ranging over Ludwig. He's got a beat on it, and he'll make the catch, and that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down in a hurry. It's still 3-0 Harwich. Home team coming back to the dish when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harwich on top 3-0 as we bring you back to White House Field. Mariners making their strides back to the plate. It's Mike Ludwig, Pat Winkle, and Hal Hughes. Tyler Madison back to the hill. Looking to get some help from his defense. Trio of errors on the board thus far. Right-hander from Bryant out of the windup. First pitch of the frame, a fastball cut and a miss. Ludwig waves over the top of it. 1 for 1, a single, and came around to score back in the second. Harwich, the team that came to McKeon Park last Sunday, in which Hyannis picked up their first win of the 2019 summer. On the ground toward Dunn at second. He's up with it, fires over to Carlson at first, in time, 1 down. So a nice, easy routine play that time for Dunn. And now 1 down for the catcher, Pat Winkle. So Winkle bounced into a fielder's choice. Brooks Carlson made the play down there at first. So Winkle batting for the second time against the right-hander Madison. Stares him down and watches the first pitch fastball in for a strike. So the sun's starting to retreat behind some trees beyond the confines of the ballpark here at White House as we approach nightfall, the 0-1. Fastball spiked in the dirt, knocked down by Hackenberg, and the count evens. Well, for Hyannis, Lyle, you mentioned a bit earlier, a .952 fielding percentage. That's last in the league. Madison's 1-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted out of play. The Harborhawks gloves not helping their cause much. A couple errors on the board that resulted in a crooked number in the runs column in the second inning, and then tacking on one more in the third. That's where we stand right now, 3-0. The 1-2 from Madison, fastball that ran high at the letters. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Winkle. Hal Hughes on deck, and if we get there, Cam Thompson. Nobody on, 1 down in the Harwich half of the fourth. Madison winds and deals. Breaking ball outside. So once again, another full count for the right-hander Madison, and Lyle, this is becoming quite the trend. He's worked himself into a couple tough ones in the last frame, and now one here with 1 down in the fourth. The pitch. Fastball sent in the air down the left side over onto the hill, just past the Harwich dugout, out of play.
Yeah, like you said, Brendan, he's gotten himself into a lot of full counts so far. And pitch total, he's already at 68, so the tallies are getting up there for the right-hander.
Next payoff pitch for Madison on the way, in the air to left field. Hoffer ranging over a couple steps to the left. He's got it lined up, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, and like we said, he's worked himself into a lot of full counts, but another good response there for him. Just issue some soft contact, a can of corn from Hoffer out in left field, and 2 quick outs in the 4th inning.
As you hear the 50-50 raffle here at White House Field going around, a few Harwich players following suit. As digging in, the right-handed hitting Hal Hughes, the shortstop. 1 for 1, a single that came back in the second. Kind of repeat that same fortune against Madison. Fastball, a called strike on the outside corner. So Madison looking for a good response to Seckler's top half of the 4th inning, which went by relatively fast. Here comes an 0-1 from the right-hander. Fastball, wave and a miss. Well behind it was Hughes, 0-2. So Madison 1 strike away from working a clean half of the 4th. Hughes awaits the 0-2 offering. Madison winds and deals. Fastball sent down the right field line, out of play. So Harwich, even when they get in 2 strike counts, doing a nice job staying alive and seeing another pitch to hit. Madison's next 0-2 coming. Check swing. Ground ball down the right side toward the Hyannis dugout, and the count stays put. Harwich Mariners being feisty with the Bryant Bulldog on the mound. Right-hander's next 0-2. Fastball on the ground, left side. A chopper ranging over Servideo. Tough off-balance throw. Carlson with a stretch, and he got him. There's a nice play from Anthony Servideo to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, helping out Madison on the hill. 3-0 with the Hyannis bats coming back to the plate in the top of the 5th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Third baseman Jared DeSantolo set to lead things off for Hyannis in the top of the fifth, with the Harbor Hawks trailing 3-0 on the road at White House Field. Connor Seckler, who has absolutely rolled through 4 innings of work, is back on the mound, and he already looks like he's set to fire. DeSantolo just now working his way into the box. Seckler was peered over the glove for a while. He finally fires home. It's a fastball down. He's given up 2 hits, both of them coming on doubles. One to Hauver in the first, another to Servideo in the third. Offering to DeSantolo. Fastball runs outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the FAU Owl. Seckler already 4 strikeouts as well. Pitch in. Down and away, 3 balls and no strikes. He's only walked 1. That came to Rowdy Jordan after a full count offering. But DeSantolo way ahead. The windup and the 3-0 pitch. Down low, ball 4. He lost him on 4 pitches. So Jared draws a walk to begin the top of the fifth. That segues things to Brooks Carlson, the number 8 hitter in the lineup.
Well, perhaps the Hyannis offense will try and get something going. We saw a heck of a play from Anthony Servideo getting Madison out of the top half of the frame. Now the bat's turn to respond, down 3-0.
So Carlson hitting from the right side, first baseman out of Samford University. Seckler will go back to the stretch, fires home. Down low, ball 1. That's 5 straight balls to begin the 5th inning for the right-hander. His season high in innings pitched was 5. That was against Dallas Baptist back on May the 27th, as Brooks Carlson grounds one to short, fielded by Hughes, flips to second for 1, relay to first, double play. 6-4-3. Go the Harwich infield. And just like that, 2 are put on the board as Carlson and DeSantolo are erased in the top of the 5th.
Well, as quick as DeSantolo got on with that 4-pitch walk, immediately wiped away. Carlson sent one on the ground towards short. Nice play from Hughes, an easy flip, and then the return throw to first to Cavadas.
Now it's Adam Hackenberg. Seckler fires home, swing and a miss. Those 5 innings pitched for him, that's actually a career high. Dallas Baptist, May the 27th, 2018. In 2019, he never went more than 4 1/3. He did that twice. Fires in a fastball, good for a strike to Hackenberg. It's 0-2. So a bullpen arm who's racked up 14 saves in his first 2 seasons. Never gone more than 5 innings. But he's already made 2 starts here on the Cape as Hackenberg watches one down low. Seckler went 4 innings in his last start, giving up 3 runs. But he went 5 in his first start, giving up just 1 on 2 hits. Adam Hackenberg chops one foul left side and toward the Harwich dugout. So Seckler already threw 4 2/3 tonight. No runs on 2 hits. Just the 1 walk. He struck out 4. Hackenberg asking for time, now into his stance with his knees bent from the right side. The windup and the 0-2 on the way, or 1-2 rather, it's in the dirt. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hackenberg came into the game hitting .400. Flew out to center field in his first at bat. Now the 2-2 offering. In the dirt, ball 3. So Seckler already walked DeSantolo to begin the 5th. That was his 2nd walk issued of the evening, but he was wiped away with the 6-4-3 double play from Brooks Carlson. Payoff to Hackenberg. Check swing, grounded up the first base line, fair territory. Fielded by Cavadas, he steps on the bag, and that ends the inning. 5 shutout for Connor Seckler here at White House Field on this Friday evening. He's absolutely blanked the Harbor Hawks offense here so far. And now the Mariners come to the plate, looking to extend their 3-0 lead. Harwich 3, Hyannis 0. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cam Thompson, Chris Galland, and Joey Weimer Jr., the 9-1-2 in the Harwich lineup, set to come to the plate to begin the bottom of the fifth. Tyler Madison's back on the mound. He worked a clean bottom of the fourth, retiring Ludwig, Winkle, and Hughes in order. Step off quickly. Now he works his way back on, working out of the windup and from the first base side. Arms lifted over the head, rocks and fires first pitch. Down low and outside, it's 1-0. So Madison gave up those 2 runs in the second, 1 unearned in the third, on a high throw, trying to backpick a runner from Adam Hackenberg. The offering, it's down low, 2 balls and no strikes to the Kansas State third baseman Thompson. But Madison threw 1 official start and 1 unofficial start that was cut short. It's been arguably the strongest arm for the Harbor Hawks up to this point. Sam Thorson makes a case as well. He's had back-to-back really strong outings. A pitch from Madison, swung on and popped up right over home plate. Hackenberg loses the mask, settles under it, and makes the grab in foul ground. So an easy F2 to retire the number 9 hitter Cam Thompson, and that shifts things back to the top for the Mariners. So good job by Hackenberg. He quickly lost the mask, tracked the ball in foul territory, moved a couple of steps back, and easily squeezed it. Gallen today is 0 for 2. He's reached base once on an error from DeSantolo. First offering, breaking ball that drops in for strike 1. There's that good curveball from Madison. At times it's missed just a bit down today, but finds the strike zone right there. Comes back with another breaking ball. This one misses too high. So Gallen came into the day hitting .294. As Madison works from the windup, the offering. Good breaking ball again. It's 1-2. Tyler's only got 2 punch outs today. As he winds and fires the 1-2. Popped up, foul, out of play. It's a little bit down from the rate of his usual strikeout total. In the official start at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, he punched out half a dozen. In the unofficial start in 4 innings at home against the Commodores, he struck out 5. Gets a new baseball, now ready, winds and deals. Breaking ball chopped down the third base line. DeSantolo can't make the backhand stop. It drifts into left field. Around first, thinking second is Chris Gallen. He's going to stop right there. The 1-out double for the left fielder Chris Gallen puts another Mariner runner in scoring position.
And that time, a tough play from DeSantolo behind the bag. Looks like he got a little bit of a late break on it as he thought it might try and tail back toward the foul line. Did not. Got past the bag in fair territory as Hopper couldn't get over quick enough to keep the runner at first base. And now that'll be it for Madison.
So Madison's day ends after 4 1/3 innings. His line open as he's responsible for the runner at second. And we'll get a bullpen arm into the game when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back here from White House Field in the bottom of the fifth, Harwich leading Hyannis 3-0 at their hometown ballpark on the eastern part of the elbow of Massachusetts. And with that, Tyler Madison exits the game, and that'll bring up the first appearance of 2019 for Louisville right-hander Glenn Albanese. He's set to face the center fielder Joey Weimer Jr. But for Glenn, his season was cut pretty short at Louisville. He threw just 9 2/3 innings for the Cardinals this season. 1-1 with a 3.72 ERA, 3 walks to 10 strikeouts. Comes in, checks the runner, stretch and fires, fastball down low. Albanese stands at 6'6", 220 pounds. He hails from Batavia, Illinois, attended Batavia High School. So Harwich with 4 hits and 3 runs to this point. Gallen stands at second. Both middle infielders shifted a bit up the middle. The offering, it's up high, 2-0. So Madison's day ends at 4 1/3 innings. Gave up 4 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. But his line's still open as he's responsible for the runner Gallen at second. So Weimer, that high, lengthy stance, stands straight up tall, bat waving above his head. Pitch from Albanese, checks his swing, and it's called a strike with the pitch anyway. Glenn's got a low to mid-90s fastball. Also can mix in a changeup, a curveball, and a slider. He nods at his catcher Hackenberg once. Checks the runner, sets right at the belt, looks over again and delivers home. Ground ball out in front of home plate. Time's called and he's likely going to be called out. So we'll see what they rule. Right now, no, they're just going to call it a foul ball. Weimer was running out of the box. It looked like the ball might have hit him as he was running down the line. In that situation, he would have been called out. But home plate umpire Dan Henry ruled that he still had a foot inside the right-handed batter's box. So as a result, it's just a foul ball. So it's 2-2 the count. Gallen back to second. Harwich still leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. So Joey Weimer's granted a new life as he wiggles the bat above his head again. Albanese the stretch and the offering. Up high and the count runs full. So Joey Weimer hit .263 at Cincinnati in 2019. He had 6 bombs, 28 RBIs. And again, we know he can steal a lot of bases. 21 in his 2019 campaign. 3-2. Ground ball over the head of the third baseman DeSantalo. It gets into left field. Around third, Gallen, he's going to score no problem. Throw is cut off, and it's an RBI single from Joey Weimer. Bounced on a hop over the head of the third baseman DeSantalo. And that plates the 4th run of the day for Harwich. It's 4-0 M's.
Would have been a very tough play for DeSantalo had he been playing back. It was, like you said, Lyle, chopped just on the lip of the infield grass, and it was a high bouncer over the head of DeSantalo. Really no chance for him to make a play on it as Gallen could cruise home. Weimer Jr. just lucking out with an RBI single.
So Weimer Jr. on at first. That now closes the line for Madison. Brings up the hitter Daniel Cabrera from LSU. Albanese sets, fires. It's up high, ball 1. So Madison gives up the 4 runs, only 3 earned. Although, like we touched on, was not given a lot of breaks his way today. And that one, just a minute ago, another example. Albanese fires from the stretch, in and out of the glove of the catcher Hackenberg. It's 2-0. So that run at second was his responsibility. And Albanese, the reliever who came in to take his duty here tonight, got a ground ball off the bat of Weimer. He chopped one to the left side, but it just took a friendly hop his way as it soared after one bounce over the head of DeSantalo at third. Albanese is going to throw over to first. Weimer back standing up. So Madison's line not really indicative of his effectiveness tonight as he threw the ball well. It's just kind of one of those days. Didn't get a whole lot of breaks his way. 2-0 the count to the hitter Cabrera. Weimer at first, being held on by Carlson. Albanese is going to throw over again. This time Weimer slides in head first, but tag applied late as he's called back safe. Cabrera 1 for 2 today. struck out in the first and singled in the third, would later score. Stole a base from first to second and then scored home after that wild throw from Adam Hackenberg trying to backpick him. 2-0. Ground ball through the right side, base hit. Stopping at second base is Weimer. A quick throw in from McIntyre to the cutoff man, Servideo. But Albany surrenders back-to-back hits, and there's 2 on with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th frame.
Another piece of hard contact, this time from Cabrera, getting it through the right side. Lucas Dunn, no chance to try and get there to at least knock it down. A couple runners aboard now, 1 down, and the train keeps moving for Harwich.
So pitching coach Ray Korn's going to call time. He wants to have a word with the new right-hander. So Brendan, a couple of tough breaks for the Harbor Hawks today. As a team in the 5th, Harwich has put together 3 straight hits, but Hyannis as a whole so far not getting a whole lot of support on offense. Had just the 2 hits off the Servideo and Hoffer double. And you and I kind of talked about it off air, but they had such a great offensive night back against Falmouth in their last game on Wednesday. And tonight it just hasn't transferred over so far.
No, not at all. And it seems like the offense has just come to a complete halt. They've sputtered to just racking up 2 hits tonight if they're putting up 10 runs in the win over Falmouth just a couple of nights ago. You don't want to point at one specific thing. It's been a culmination of everything tonight that hasn't gone Hyannis' way. It's been a couple tough breaks in the field, and give credit to the starter on the other side of the bump for Harwich, Steckler. He's been great.
So meeting concludes. Korn walks back to the dugout. And it'll be the hitter Nico Cavadas out of Notre Dame. Albanese gazing in at him. The glove tucked into his left shoulder. Now he comes set. Pitch to Cavadas. Curveball for a called strike. And the other thing for Madison is he hasn't been given a whole lot of run support either through his first 2 official starts or 3 unofficial. Albanese looks in at the hitter Cavadas. He'll come set again. And the Louisville product giving a long look at Weimer at second. Now comes home. Breaking ball catches the back foot of Cavadas, and he loses him to a hit by pitch. So 4 straight base runners reach for Harwich in the bottom of the 5th, and the bases are juiced for Christian Fedko.
And not what you wanted in relief of Tyler Madison, who again, line doesn't tell the full story. And now for Albanese, making his Hyannis debut, struggling a bit here in the 5th.
So Fedko, the hitter, he's got an RBI opportunity at hand. On the season, he has 4 to his name in terms of runs batted in. Albanese is going to opt to work out of the stretch, despite the bases being loaded. Pitch down low, and it's 1-0 after a breaking ball. But that first Madison outing, he didn't get any run support until the top of the 5th when Hyannis finally plated 3 runs at Guv Fuller Field against Falmouth. He still didn't get the win as that contest ended in a 9-9 draw. Next offering from Albanese, popped up on the infield. Hackenberg ranging back into foul ground. He calls everybody off and makes the grab. So Hackenberg had to come a long way toward the Hyannis dugout, made it about halfway there, and tracked it down to put it away for the second out.
And that's a really tough play from Hackenberg. He had one just like that went up the elevator shaft just behind home plate to start off the inning. Now after 3 straight hits and a hit by pitch, making this the next play. So he's made both outs in this inning, but that one a tough play, losing the mask, as you mentioned, having to cover a lot of ground.
So it feels like forever ago when Hackenberg recorded that first out. He puts away the second here in the bottom of the 5th frame. It'll be Mike Ludwig, the 7th man to the plate. He's already got a hit to his name today. Albanese stretch and delivers. Good fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. So it took Madison a while to get any run support in his first outing. His second outing, again, he only lasted 4 innings because the game was cut short due to rain. It's going to ultimately end up starting from scratch. But in that time, he was only given 1 run of support. Pitch to Ludwig. Ground ball toward the second baseman. Dunn charges in, flips to Servideo at second after a spin move, and he gets him in time. So Dunn, a 4-6 fielder's choice, and that gets Hyannis out of a bases-loaded jam to end the bottom of the 5th. Harwich plates an additional run, but it's 4-0 Mariners through 5 innings of play. We'll be back for the top of the 6th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis trails 4-0 entering the top of the sixth here at White House Field in Harwich. Connor Seckler back on the mound, but the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have the right part of the order up to try and turn it around as Anthony Servideo watches a fastball for a strike at the knees. Servideo 1 for 2 today. He's also got one of the 2 hits on that double that 2-hopped the wall in left center. Pitch from Seckler. It's down and the count's 1-1. Servideo came into the day hitting just 100. And as he takes a strike on the outside corner, borderline, but it's 1-2. But he's a guy that can really flat out hit the baseball. Hit 286 in his sophomore year at Ole Miss. 43 walks to 53 strikeouts, so gets on base at a good rate too. Pops one foul left side and it finds the crowd. And as a matter of fact, his on-base percentage was .427 in his sophomore year. So 62 hits and 46 walks for the Ole Miss middle infielder. Pitch from Seckler, just outside, and it's 2-2. Seckler might have thought that was strike 3 as he started to take his walk around the mound, but home plate umpire Dan Henry says no, sir. Infield back as Seckler's ready the next offering. Line drive into right field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Third Harbor Hawk hit of the night, second for Servideo. And he gets Hyannis off on the right foot to begin the top half of the frame. So you have to expect the hits are going to start to come for Servideo. He's too good a ball player to keep his average as low as 100, and they're starting to come around. A single and a double today. Now that shifts things to Rowdy Jordan. He's a switch hitter by trade, digging in from the left side against the righty Seckler. Offering, first pitch, fly ball, gap in left center, charging in Weimer. No, it's the left fielder Gallen calling him off, and he makes the grab for the first out. So Gallen came on at the last second to call off the center fielder Weimer. He had to come in a long way from left field, in and do his left, but he makes the grab for the first out of the inning. And with that, that is now the longest outing that Connor Seckler has had in his collegiate career here on Cape Cod or in his time at Missouri State. Hauver's the left-handed hitting left fielder as a pickoff move from Seckler takes Servideo back to the bag. He dives in no problem. But once again, Seckler had never gone more than 5 innings in an appearance for the Bears at Missouri State. He'll work from the stretch. Sets at the belt and fires to Hauver. It's up high, ball 1. And again, no starts made in his time during school ball. His third start here on the Cape. First one lasted 5 innings. Second one lasted 4 innings as Hauver takes a strike on a fastball. But Seckler's been absolutely rolling. Just the 3 hits and still scoreless for the Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 6th with 1 down. Pickoff move to first, Servideo's back safe. And again, a valid reason to keep a tab on Anthony Servideo over there. This is just his 7th appearance, and that time he's already swiped 2 bags. Once again, he stole 23 at Ole Miss. Pitch to Hauver, misses outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Trevor's 1 for 2 today. He is the other Harbor Hawk hit with that first inning double to right center. Seckler's offering, breaking ball, drops in for a called strike, and the count levels. Hauver hitting 270 on the summer. He hit just a tad below that in his first season as a Harbor Hawk at 267. Seckler throws over again. Servideo head first dives safely. This is the 3rd meeting of 4 between these 2 ball clubs. Harwich won the first, Hyannis won the second. Both ended in scores of 7-2. Pitch to Hauver, pop-up foul, out of play on the left side. That 7-2 win had a couple highlights in it. We talked about the Bryce Teodosio catch to Rabah Cavada's home run earlier. There was also a 2-run shot from Nick Lofton. That was his first of the summer. Hauver watches one in the dirt. It's 3-2. And both sides, both Harwich and Hyannis, a little bit short on firepower right now. as they've both had guys leave for Team USA. Lofton at tryouts right now for Hyannis. Both Logan Allen and Bobby Seymour the same for Harwich. Servideo takes off. Harvard swings, pops it left side, and it finds the crowd just beyond the fence here at White House Field. So Servideo comes back to first base. He got the green light there with the 3-2 count. But Hoover, who pinwheels the bat at the mound a couple times, is back into the stance, ready to do it again. Servideo takes off. The offering, swing and a miss. Double clutch, throw down by the catcher Winkle, not in time. Servideo, his third stolen bag of the season, as he slides in head first safely. But there's now 2 outs for the Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 6th as Hoover goes down swinging. So there's strikeout number 5 for Connor Seckler. And it brings up Hunter Goodman. His time's going to be called. Conference on the mound set to come aboard between the catcher Winkle, Harwich pitching coach. We'll see if this ends Seckler's night. There's some action going in the Harwich bullpen down the left field line. But with the way he's thrown the ball tonight, be a little bit surprising to see him get an exit here. To be fair, he's at 82 pitches, and players aren't stretched out in summer ball the same way they are in their school days. But Seckler has been nothing short of efficient so far here tonight. They're just standing up there right now. Looks like they might be opting to kill a little bit of time. Home plate umpire Dan Henry hasn't started to walk out to the mound yet either. But Trevor Hoover and Anthony Servideo were both roommates this summer here in the Cape in 2019, responsible for the only 3 Hyannis hits. Henry comes out to the mound. It looked like things were about set to conclude. Now they do. They're going to leave Seckler in the game. Infielders retreat to their respective positions. Winkle back behind the plate, and Goodman making his way into the box. Chad Gassman's going to have a couple words with Dan Henry. So he now walks back to third base with no problem. Goodman, the designated hitter out of Memphis. He's got 2 home runs in game. He's got a whole lot more in batting practice. And he hit 4 during his Fenway workout yesterday. First offering from Seckler. Ground ball, left side foul. And again, 2 got out onto Yawkey Way at Fenway Park. That's the street that resides over the Green Monster and just beyond the confines of Fenway Park in Boston. Goodman wiggling the bat above his right shoulder. Pitch in, fastball up high. And at the major league level, it happens, at least in game. It's not uncommon, but it doesn't happen all the time either. You'll see guys like JD Martinez do it. But Hunter Goodman, who just finished up his freshman year, did it on back-to-back pitches as he checks his swing and sends one foul. So quite an impressive showing. You could see the look on a couple of scouts' faces too. He raised some eyebrows yesterday during his batting practice. But today he's looking to drive in the first Harbor Hawk run. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Goodman whacks his foot to the barrel of his bat, and that ends the top of the 6th. Servideo stranded at second base. He picked up the 3rd Hyannis hit tonight, but it wouldn't go for anything further. It's 4-0 Harwich through 5.5 frames. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom third of the Harwich lineup set to come to the plate in the bottom of the sixth here at White House Field in Harwich, as the Mariners lead 4-0 over the visiting Harbor Hawks in the third of four matchups between the two ball clubs here this summer. Pat Winkle, the Yukon catcher, steps in from the left side. Glenn Albanese back on the mound as the Louisville right-hander rocks and fires. First pitch, fastball runs away. Albanese got the final 2 outs of the bottom of the fifth frame. He came in to relieve Tyler Madison after 4 1/3 innings in his start. Another fastball, this one hits the outside corner. It's 1-1. Winkle, an RBI ground out in the second, a fly out to left in the fourth. Now the offering, ground ball hits him inside the box. It tapped the back of his helmet. Count moves to 1-2. So Winkle might have caught a little bit of a break as it caught a piece of him. Otherwise, it looked like it was going to roll out toward the mound in Albanese. He works from the right side of the rubber. Fires the 1-2, and it's outside. So Winkle 0 for 2 today with that RBI. Albanese shakes off the sign of Hackenberg once, now gets one he likes. The offering, fouled up and out of play. And the Hyannis bullpen has been much improved over the last week or so. If you look at their 2 wins, the bullpens have been a mighty contributing factor. The offering, outside corner, strike 3. First Cape League strikeout of the career of Glenn Albanese, and there's one down in the bottom of the 6th. He freezes Patrick Winkle with a good breaking ball on the outer half of the plate. That'll bring up Hal Hughes with one down. The Hyannis bullpen, however, if you look at their 2 wins, 10-3 against Falmouth, 7-2 against Harwich, they've really been pretty potent. Albanese is offering. It plunks the hitter right on the head. That's Hughes. He'll throw the bat back toward the dugout and trot down to first. So it plunked him on the top of the helmet, but he shakes it off no problem. Now it's Cam Thompson, Kansas State third baseman. That's the second hit batsman of the day for Albanese. He hit Nico Cavadas on his back foot earlier in the 5th. Thompson, the last of 5 left-handed hitters in the order, rather. Pitch from Albanese, line drive down the left field line, tailing just foul. He hit it on the screws, but broke toward the left of the chalk right at the end. But again, the Hyannis bullpen. Their 2 wins, the bullpen combined for 7 innings pitched. They gave up 6 hits, but just 2 runs in those 2 wins combined. Nolan Crisp came in on relief for Sam Thorson back in the 7-2 win on Sunday. So Albanese offers. It's up high for ball 1. And then the other night in Falmouth, Billy Corcoran and Ben Abram combined for the final 5 innings of work. They gave up just 1 run on 4 hits combined. 1 run issued by Abram. That was back in the 9th inning, but the run meant nothing. Swung on and fouled back and out of play on the pitch from the hitter Thompson. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 4-0 Harwich the score here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 runner on. And Chris, back in that 7-2 win, got the final 2 innings of work and recorded the final 6 outs, giving up just 1 run on 2 hits. Pitch from Albanese. Ground ball foul right side. Thompson in search of his first hit today. He's 5 for his first 31 on the Cape, so he's just sitting at 161. And Harwich's offense has really not been off the charts by any means so far this season. They're just 6th in team average, 225 as a ball club, 7th in on base. Albanese is offering, fouled back. And both these ball clubs sit in the cellar of their divisions. Hyannis at the bottom of the West with 5 points, 2 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie. And once again, the point system, you get 2 points for a win, 1 for a tie, none for a loss. So Hyannis with the 2 wins and 1 tie have 5 points. They sit 4 points behind the Falmouth Commodores coming into tonight. Albanese, the stretch in the 1-2. Ground ball past DeSantolo at third base. It's down the left field line toward the corner. Backhanded by Hoover toward the bullpen. Moving down to third, the runner Hughes. Up at second, the hitter Thompson. And Harwich has two runners in scoring position with one out in the bottom of the sixth. They're threatening again just like that. Sixth hit of the summer for Cam Thompson. A hard line shot past DeSantolo, who didn't have much of a play on it. Tried to move to his right, but just a courtesy step as it sailed down that left field line, just touching the lip of the outfield grass, and it got down toward the Harwich bullpen on the left field line. Chad Gassman's going to opt to bring his infield in, as it's Chris Gallen set for his fourth plate appearance. Thompson at second, Hughes at third, Harwich leading by 4. Pitch from Albanese. Checks his swing, and he goes around strike one. So Hyannis last place in the West, Harwich last place in the East, but the Eastern Division a lot more tightly knit. Chatham sits in first place, tied with YD with 15 points on the summer. Chatham's got 7 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. And Harwich sitting in last with 12 points. Pitch to Gallen, fly ball into short right field. McIntyre charging in. He makes the catch on the run. And he's going to throw it in quickly. No tag from the runner at third, Hal Hughes. A nice job by McIntyre. Good break on the ball. Caught it right at about the belt high level and quickly relayed it into Brooks Carlson on the cutoff. And as a result, keeps the score at bay for now. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, but Albanese has a tough task at hand as he's going to be asked to retire Joey Weimer Jr., who's been one of the hottest hitters on the Cape through the first quarter of the season. Weimer once again came into the day tied for 8th in the league in batting average. He was also 5th in on base at .412. Swing and a high fly ball deep left center field. Hoover backtracking, he's at the wall, and it one-hops the fence. 2 runs are going to score. Standing up at second base is Joey Weimer Jr. It's a 2 RBI double to make it 6-0 Harwich. Hughes scored from third, Thompson from second. He cruised 180 feet. And Joey Weimer Jr. just missing a home run by a few feet. Instead cashes in with that 2 RBI double. And Harwich is pouring it on here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-0 Mariners. So now the hitter, Daniel Cabrera out of LSU. He looks to add on. Albanese checks the runner, fires home from the stretch. It's a fastball on the inside part of the plate, good for strike one. So for Harwich, 2 runs came across in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 so far here in the 6th. Albanese gives the runner a look, comes home, swinging a fly ball into left field. Hoover backpedals a couple feet. He's got a beat on it, and he puts it away. That does it for the bottom of the 6th frame, but not before a 2 RBI double from Joey Weimer Jr., his 2nd hit of the day, extends the Harwich lead to 6-0. We'll be back for the 7th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 7th inning from White House Field in Harwich. And for the Mariners, they're going to opt to go to the bullpen. It'll be the left-hander Will Heflin out of the University of Tennessee, set to make his 3rd appearance on Cape Cod here in 2019. McIntyre, the hitter, for a lefty-lefty matchup, as the southpaw winds and deals. Fastball good for a strike. So that ends the night of the right-hander Connor Seckler. And boy, was he dominant. Cruise control was on a deadlock from minute 1. Next offering, swing and a miss for strike 2. So again, Seckler absolutely rolled through 6 innings. 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Now Heflin comes in relief, looking to keep the score at bay. 6-0 Mariners here as we enter the top of the 7th. 0-2 to McIntyre. Down low, it's a ball and 2 strikes. For Heflin, he's 1-0 in 5 1/3 innings pitched so far in Cape Cod. Hasn't let up a run. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Has also allowed just 1 hit. Now he winds and fires the 1-2. Ground ball right side. To his right, the second baseman, Fedko, bobbles for a second, throws to first, not in time. McIntyre beats it out on an E4, and the leadoff man's aboard for the Harbor Hawks to begin the 7th.
Well, there's the first mishap of the night from Harwich. This time it comes from Fedko. So a couple second basemen having their struggles tonight. Routine ground ball to Fedko, just perhaps tried to scoop the glove up before he had possession of the baseball. Results in the speed of McIntyre able to beat it out, no problem.
So now Lucas Dunn, the hitter, second baseman from Louisville. As the Tennessee lefty, Will Heflin, goes into the stretch. Sets at the letters, gives McIntyre a look and fires home. Down low, it's 1-0. So Heflin threw 3 1/3 scoreless innings in his last appearance back on June the 22nd against Cotuit. Harwich picked up a 2-1 win in that game where he was given the decision of the win. Dunn slaps one toward the right side, coming in Fedko, turns, throws to second for 1. That's in time, but Dunn beats it out. No throw to first. It never came. So Fedko makes up for it somewhat there as he comes in, fields a ball out on his left leg, spins and makes a quick throw over to the shortstop Hughes for the putout. So now 1 down, still a man on first. And now it brings up Jared DeSantalo, set to face the lefty Heflin. Will's first appearance as a Harwich Mariner came on June the 16th against Falmouth. He threw 2 innings, giving up just 1 hit. No walks, struck out 2 in that outing. Offering, good for a strike right at the top of the zone. As we look around the rest of the score throughout the league tonight, Whitey beat Falmouth 4-3 at Red Wilson Field. That's big for the Harbor Hawks. As Heflin throws over to first, back standing up Lucas Dunn. He only had about a step of a lead. But again, Falmouth in 4th place in the West Division. They sat at 9 points at 4-5-1. So if Hyannis can't come back and win this one tonight, the margin will stay the same. Heflin throws over to first, Dunn back standing up. How the playoffs work here in Cape Cod, the top 4 teams from each side of the division make it into postseason play, and each round is a best of 3. So only the bottom team from the East and the bottom team from the West are not invited to participate. Offering from Heflin, ground ball up the middle, Fedko to his right, can't make the play, it's out of his glove. Dunn moves up to second, DeSantalo aboard at first. And Christian Fedko has had himself a woeful inning to begin the top of the 7th. It's 2 on, 1 down, and it'll bring up Brooks Carlson.
And another mishap for Fedko. He's upset with himself, kicking some dirt around, but it's helping the Harbor Hawks out with a couple runners aboard and 1 on. They haven't made a lot of hard contact against this Mariner pitching staff at all tonight, so any way they can get on, they'll certainly take it.
So Carlson, the right-handed hitting first baseman from Samford. Heflin, the lefty, back on the mound. He'll still work from the stretch. Glove tucked into the belt. Now he'll come set. Fires home the first offering. Good for a strike on a fastball. So again, Whitey beats Falmouth 4-3. That's big for the Harbor Hawks, as the margin will stay 4 points if they can't come back and win this one. Brewster's up on Bourne 2-0 in the top of the 8th. So again, another Western Division foe within somewhat of a range of the Harbor Hawks, losing so far tonight. The offering to Carlson's up high. Cotuit and Orleans tied at 3-3 at Eldridge Park in the bottom of the fourth. And the Wareham Gatemen pounding on Chatham out east at Veterans Field 7-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Hyannis set to take on the Anglers tomorrow for the second time of 4 tries this summer. That'll be out at Veterans Field in Chatham. One run from Heflin, swing and a miss, off speed, and the count moves to 1-2. Carlson today 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the third and grounded out into that 6-4-3 double play in the fifth. But he's got an RBI opportunity here. Flips the bat out toward the mound a couple times, now into his stance as he bends his knees. Offering from Heflin, swing and a miss. Carlson goes down swinging, second out of the top of the seventh, and it's the first strikeout of the night for the lefty Will Heflin.
Now, Carlson was a bit fooled on a couple breaking balls that time, had him out in front, did Heflin. Pulled the string on him not once, but twice in that at bat. So now 2 down for Hackenberg, the last chance here in this half of the inning.
So Hyannis still looking to push 1 or 2 across. Harwich up 6-0. 2 down in the top of the seventh. And Hackenberg, the catcher out of Clemson, wiggling his bat as he watches the first offering hit the outside black for strike 1. So Harwich has really capitalized on their opportunities tonight. 6 runs on 8 hits. Meanwhile, for Hyannis, again, the no runs, they have just 3 base hits. Heflin gets his sign from the catcher, Winkle. He checks the runner done at second and fires home, swing and a miss at a heater. The sun is just about set here in Harwich. Lights turned on at White House Field. And this game's flown by, too. First pitch time of this one was 6:27 p.m. Here we are at 8:21 in the top of the seventh. 2 runners on. Heflin delivers. Swing and a foul back from Hackenberg. He stays alive. Adam today 0 for 2. Fly out to center, ground out to first. His average on the season now sits at .353. So he's 6 for his first 17 on Cape Cod this summer. As he pinwheels the bat underhand toward the mound. Now into his stance. Heflin sets fire. Swing and a miss. Tip back into the glove of the catcher, Winkle, and that does it for the top of the seventh. So the Harwich pitching staff has made quick work of Hyannis through 6.5 frames tonight. And we'll be back for the bottom of the seventh on the other side of the break. Harwich 6, Hyannis nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Bottom of the 7th inning here from White House Field. It's a new pitcher on for Hyannis. Long time no see for the St. John's southpaw Nick Mondak, making his 4th appearance on the Cape this summer. He's gone 3 2/3 innings so far. He's given up 5 hits, just 1 earned run. He's walked 3 and struck out 5 for an ERA of 2.45. He'll be facing Nico Cavadas here to start off the 7th. With Harwich out in front 6-0, he misses high with the first pitch fastball. This is the first time we've seen Mondak in quite some time as he rocks and fires a 1-0. Fastball again in the dirt. Cavadas able to lay off. So far tonight, a couple of ground outs to Lucas Dunn over at second and was also hit by a pitch. Southpaw working a 2-0 count. Fastball sent right side past the glove of Dunn into right field. That's a leadoff base hit. So Cavadas will take a turnaround first and apply the brakes. 1 on, nobody out now for Christian Fedko.
He hit that one hard, just scorched it through the right side. Dunn gave a couple steps to his left, but didn't have much of a play at it.
So that'll bring up the Yukon second baseman Christian Fedko. Was also hit by a pitch and popped out to Dunn at second and also popped out to Hackenberg behind the dish. Southpaw Mondak wants a new baseball. He'll receive one before retowing the rubber. So Hyannis, no runs on 3 hits, 6 runs on 9 hits for the hometown Mariners. 3 errors for Hyannis, 2 for Harwich. First pitch in for a strike to the new hitter Fetko. Fastball in the inside corner. Now, Mondak has had a couple of seasons cut short at St. John's due to some injuries, but has made his way up here to Cape Cod, working with an 0-1 count, winds and fires a high breaking ball. Fetko perhaps thought about going around for a second, but wisely laid off. Runner Cavadas at first, back to the bag. So the count even at a ball into strike. The right-handed hitting second baseman digs back in, spins the bat a couple times toward Mondak on the hill. He's ready, kicks and fires. 1-1 breaking ball, again in the dirt, stopped by Hackenberg. Been a bit of a rocky game for the Harbor Hawks, to say the least. Offense hasn't gotten going. That looked so good just a couple of nights ago back on Wednesday. On deck set, here comes a 2-1. Fastball high. So the count 3-1 in favor of the hitter at the dish, Fetko. So Mondak perhaps trying to shake off some cobwebs. Left arm dangling as he peers in at Hackenberg for a sign on 3-1. Left-hander set the pitch. Fastball popped up down the right field line, drifting back out of play. So another full count for a Harbor Hawk pitcher, this time Mondak. We saw Tyler Madison earlier on in the ball game making his second official start of his Cape summer. Worked himself into a couple full count situations. This time it's the southpaw for Hyannis finding himself in one. Couple checks on first. Now the payoff pitch. Inside out swing on the ground toward Dunn. Flips to Servideo for 1. Back to first. In time, a double play. So they roll it up 4-6-3. And now there's quickly 2 down for Mike Ludwig. That was big.
Yeah, nice play from Dunn. Just had to take a couple steps in, fielded it right out in front of him. Easy flip to Servideo at second, and then a good turn quickly back to first, as Mondak gets some help from his defense behind him to clear the base runners.
So Mondak helped out by his middle infielders. And that'll transition things to Mike Ludwig, the right fielder. He's been aboard once tonight, came around to score as well. Also grounded out to Dunn. Bounced into a fielder's choice as he swings at the first pitch and sends it out of play. So just taking a quick peek down at the scorebook here, Lyle. Dunn has been busy over there at second base tonight. He's had a lot of action. Normally an outfielder by trade, but making his way onto the infield dirt tonight for Chad Gassman as a 0-1 breaking ball misses.
Yeah, and he can play both, much like Rowdy Jordan can. Dunn's played his first 2 games at second base, but yeah, he stayed busy.
A 1-1 for Mondak. Fastball down, but a called strike at the knees. Ludwig, a quick shake of the head and a few words for home plate umpire Dan Henry. But Mondak finds himself ahead 1-2, and he's ready to go. Kicks in, fires. Fastball again in the dirt. Spiked couple inches in front of the plate as it trickles back behind Hackenberg, just behind the home plate area as it rests on the shortly cut grass. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ludwig takes a quick step out, now right back into the box from the left side. Mondak's 2-2, here it is. Fastball just a bit low, couldn't pick up the spot. Pitchers have been getting that call a lot tonight, but Dan Henry thought otherwise that time. The count's full again. Mondak, a quick pace to 3-2. That's foul. Over the grandstands on the left side. Guarded by a metal and plastic chain link fence, so the count holds at 3-2. We'll do it again. A lefty-lefty matchup here with Ludwig. Mondak shakes off a few signs. Now he's got one. He rocks and fires. Chopper back up the middle towards Servideo at short. Plays it on a hop. Fires across to Carlson, and it's in time. So that is how the bottom half of the 7th inning will end. Mondak aided by a double play from Dunn and Servideo, and the score holds at 6-0 with Hyannis coming back to the plate when we return for the top of the 8th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning here from Harwich and White House Field. Hyannis back to the plate, trailing it by 6. 6-0, in fact, being blanked by this Harwich pitching staff. No runs on 3 hits, 6 on 9 hits for the hometown Mariners. Will Heflin back to the mound, set to go against the top of the Harbor Hawk order. Servideo, Jordan, and Hauver. If there's a part of the order you want up to try and turn things around, it would be this right here. Lefty-lefty matchup with Servideo. Watches a fastball at the knees, a called strike to begin the frame. Well, Servideo tonight came in 2 for his first 20, but has picked up a couple of hits, but perhaps a few steps in the right direction for Anthony. He awaits an 0-1 pitch, a fastball in on the outside corner, called strike 2. Servideo, a brief shake of the head, perhaps maybe upset with himself or the spot. A double that came back in the 3rd inning and a single in the 6th has Servideo 2 for 3 on the evening. But he finds himself down 0-2 here against Heflin. Left-hander rocks and fires. Fastball spoiled away by Servideo up off to the left. So Winkle will fire back a new baseball to the southpaw. Servideo resets himself outside the left-handed batter's box. Servideo went 0 for 3 in the first win of the season for Hyannis. That was game 2 of a doubleheader back at McKeon Park last Sunday. The 0-2 from Heflin. Breaking ball off the end of the bat down the left field line, but foul toward the Harwich bullpen. So Servideo hanging tough with 2 strikes. And again, coming into tonight, each of these teams had scored 9 runs against each other. Harwich took game 1 of that doubleheader last Sunday by a score of 7-2, and then Hyannis returned the favor, picking up their first win 7-2. Heflin out of the windup on 0-2. The pitch, fastball, bounding ball towards second base. Fedko knocks it down and then makes a throw over to first in time to retire Servideo. So Fedko had a pair of errors that came back in the 7th inning, knocked that one down. It skipped out of the glove for a moment, but was able to recover in plenty of time to get Servideo by about a step. So that'll bring up the Mississippi State right-handed hitting center fielder Rowdy Jordan, making his Cape League debut tonight. Hasn't quite got the bat going yet. Has been on base, however. He drew a walk that came back in the third. First pitch to him from Heflin, a breaking ball outside. So Jordan earned freshman All-America honors from D1Baseball.com and was also named to the NCAA Tallahassee Regional All-Tournament team. So certainly a talented kid with some pop in his bat from the right side. 1-0, he waves and misses at a breaking ball, and the count evens. Heflin offered a curveball, it just fell off the table. Jordan offered. Nobody on, 1 out, top of the 8th from White House Field here in Harwich. Heflin winds and fires, fastball down, but a called strike just below the knees. Jordan a stone cold take and a stare back down the first baseline toward the dugout, perhaps saying, where was that one? But the count stands at 2-2. Heflin 1 strike away from a punch out to the pitch. Jordan swings and lifts it down the right side and tailing off out of play over on the hill. That'll be a souvenir. And the count stays even. Trevor Hover awaits on deck, and Hunter Goodman follows should we get there. Infield straight up with just 1 down, nobody on. Outfield about the same. Joey Weimer perhaps playing a bit deep. Jordan spinning the bat above his shoulder, awaits a 2-2. The pitch misses up high, and the count swells full. Well, Rowdy Jordan with some sneaky power in that 5'10 frame. 6 home runs in his season at Mississippi State with the Bulldogs. Made a run into the postseason. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball again, sent down the right field line, ranging after it Ludwig. He's got a beat on it. He'll make the grab, and there's 2 down. So Jordan put a charge into that one, just not deep enough. He went opposite field with it. Ludwig tracked it down in time for the out. That'll bring up Trevor Hover. Came into tonight 257. He laced a double. It was back in the first inning. 0 for 2 since. And Hover had himself a day back on Wednesday. We mentioned the off day yesterday. Of course, with the Cape Cod League hosting workouts at Fenway Park in Boston. Hover launched a grand slam and propelled the Harbor Hawks to their second win of the season in Falmouth on Wednesday. Launches a breaking ball dropped in for a strike. A 7 RBI performance for Trevor in that game as well. That propelled him up to 9 on the season. But Hyannis batting here in the 8th inning. Nobody on, 2 out, and find themselves trailing by 6. There's the 0-1. Breaking ball again in the dirt. Picked on the backhand by Winkle. Fires it back to the left-hander on the mound, and Hopper will reset himself. Hunter Goodman hoping for a chance here in the 8th. Trying to avenge an 0 for 3 performance. Heflin trying to make sure he stays right where he is in the on-deck area, the 1-1. Fastball called, strike at the knees. So Hover all of a sudden behind in the count. Hyannis entering the day last in the league in run differential, minus 43. So a number that has only increased as the 1-2 to Hover on the way. Breaking ball on the ground towards short. Hughes fields it on a hop, fires across the diamond in time to get Hover, and that ends the inning. So Hyannis goes 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. They still find themselves trailing. It's the Mariners 6, the Harbor Hawks nothing. We go to the bottom half of the frame when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning here in Harwich. The hometown Mariners back to the plate, leading by 6-0. Hyannis has been able to muster just 3 hits, but a new arm into the game. This is Nolan Crisp, making his 3rd appearance on Cape Cod this summer. He's tossed 5 2/3 innings so far. As he fires in a first pitch fastball, a wave and a miss from the hitter Pat Winkle. It's the bottom third of the Harwich order due up in this inning. Winkle will be followed by Hal Hughes and Cam Thompson. So Crisp, working from the windup, gets a sign from Hackenberg. A pause, now fires. Fastball in the air down the left field line. Racing after it, Hover toward the line, and he'll make the grab, 1 down. So Winkle gave that one a ride down the chalk, but Hover with plenty of speed to track it down. And that'll give way to Hal Hughes, the shortstop tonight. He's been aboard twice. 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch is the exact line score. A single that came back in the second but was stranded at third. And then bounced one to Servideo at short. So wiggling the bat above his right shoulder. First time he's getting a look at Crisp. Breaking ball paints the outside corner, 0-1. Crisp with a stone cold stare down at Hackenberg, awaits the sign. He's got it into the wind up the pitch. Fastball called strike at the knees, 0-2. So Crisp quickly working himself ahead here against Hughes, the number 8 man in the lineup. Struggled mightily in his debut again in Brewster a couple of weeks ago, but settled down in his second outing, which has his ERA back down at 11-11. The pitch, 0-2, misses away. So a ball and 2 strikes to Hughes. Tyler Madison made the start tonight for Hyannis. He went 4 1/3. Gave up 4 runs, just 3 earned, however. Crisp quickly into the windup, the 1-2, off the end of the bat, poked foul. Now that one will be a souvenir for a couple of young fans who go racing after it into the distance. Count holds at 1-2, nobody on, 1 down in the Harwich half of the 8th inning. Crisp gets the sign, the next 1-2 on the way. In the air down the right field line, again foul. Looking on a play just past the Hyannis dugout off onto the hill. Hughes came into tonight hitting 125, picking up a single in the second inning to help out his cause. Crisp's next 1-2, breaking ball was high but popped up in the field of play. DeSantelo shortly ranging after it into foul ground, and he'll reel it in. So Hughes is retired for the second out. That'll bring up Cam Thompson. Well, Crisp has had a crisp inning, if you will, out of the bullpen. Quick couple of outs for a Hyannis pitching staff that has struggled mightily so far this season. Giving up the most earned runs, 81. The most hits and the most walks as well. And opponents hitting at 273, and 9 more hits piled on tonight from Harwich as the first pitch to the new batter, Thompson, misses away. Highest earned run average in the league as well, although it has come down over the course of the past couple games. Crisp's 1-0. In the air, onto the shallow grass and left, ranging back Servideo, no problem to reel that one in, and that will retire the side. So down goes Harwich, 1-2-3, with Hyannis coming back to the plate. Last chance here in the 9th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the ninth here from White House Field. The last chance for Hyannis as Jackson Olson, a pinch hitter into the game for Hunter Goodman, makes his way up to the plate. Hyannis trailing by 6 on the scoreboard, 6-0 to be exact. The last chance for the visitors tonight against the left-hander Will Heflin. The starter, Connor Seckler, was magnificent, went 6 innings, 6 scoreless innings, walked 2 and struck out a half dozen. So Jackson Olson digs in, 6 for his first 27 this summer, good for a .222 average. Trying to see what he can do batting from the left side in a lefty-lefty matchup with the southpaw Heflin. First pitch to him, fastball low, a called strike. Well, if Hyannis can't come back and rally, this will be one that they'll just want to forget. Seems to be a common trend as the 0-1 on the way, cut and a miss at a high fastball. Olson foul tipped it back into the glove of Winkle, strike 2. And it's been a tough go of it, though. Hyannis has won 2 of their last 3. They're coming into tonight pretty confident, but Harwich has responded in a big way here at home. The 0-2, breaking ball in the dirt, chested up by Winkle. A ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Hartford University product Jackson Olson. Bryce Teodosio loosening up in the on-deck area. He'll pinch hit for Mitch McIntyre. Dan Gassman opting to insert some new faces into the lineup. Just a chance to get some cuts in. F1 into the slow wind up, the 1-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed. Olson way over the top of it, strike 3. And there's one down in the 9th. That'll bring up Bryce Teodosio.
Yeah, and Heflin's still cruising here for Harwich. Gets Olson there. For him, that's his 3rd strikeout of the night. And he's picked up right where Seckler left off.
So here is Bryce Teodosio waiting to dig into the right-handed batter's box. His name being announced over the PA just now here at White House Field. Looking to get the bat going. He's struggled early on in this summer, an average down below 100 at .83, just 2 for his first 24, but his defense has been nothing short of absolutely spectacular. He watches the first pitch fastball miss down and away. We mentioned a bit earlier on, this is the man that made the catch at McKeon Park to rob Nico Cavadas of a home run, climbing the wall in right center field. The 0-1 from Heflin, breaking ball, wave and a miss. Bryce out in front of that one, and the count moves to 1-1. So Heflin has been mighty strong out of the bullpen in relief of Seckler, who was also splendid. The 1-1. Another breaking ball. Teodosio fans over the top of it. 2 strikes on him now. One down here in the top of the 9th. 6-0 Harwich out in front. If they can hold on, they would improve back to 500 and snap a 2-game losing streak. They would move back to 7-7. Heflin's 1-2 offering, here it is. Fastball foul tipped at the plate. Off the chest protector of Winkle and just off to the right of the home plate area as Dan Henry will go retrieve it. Flip it back toward the Harwich dugout. So the count stays put at a ball and 2 strikes. Bryce, just an opportunity in a late game situation to try and get some cuts in and see what he can do. Try and break this cold streak, the 1-2. Foul tipped again, he stays alive. When just a squibber back behind the home plate area. So Bryce hanging tough with 2 strikes here against the left-hander. Seen a handful of long at-bats from both sides tonight. Tyler Madison, the starter for Hyannis, worked himself into a few full counts, but a 1-2 here. Fastball misses up and away, 2-2. Just 3 hits for Hyannis offense. That was looking to put the burners on and continue a hot streak. The 1-2 to Teodosio. In the air to short left field. Coming in a couple steps, Gowan. He lines it up and makes the grab. And 2 down, Lucas Dunn, the last hope for Hyannis tonight. So Dunn to this point, 0 for 2 and has reached on a fielder's choice. That was back in the 7th inning. So Dunn digging in from the right side, batting with 2 down, nobody aboard in the top of the 9th. Harwich just 1 out away from hanging on to their 7th win of the season. Hyannis trying to fend off, dropping to double digits in the loss column. First pitch to Dunn, fouled away off to the right. Over the backstop behind where we are, and that'll be a souvenir. So 0-1 to Dunn. Was 1 for his first 4, made his debut the other night in Falmouth. The 0-1. Fastball misses away. So the count draws even, and Lyle, an offense that looked so dangerous the other night in Falmouth, putting up 10 runs on 11 hits, but tonight just kind of falling short. Eflin stares down to get his sign before a 1-1. Into the windup, kicks and fires. Breaking ball down the right field line, ranging after it. Ludwig, he's got a long way to go, and he'll make the grab, but he drops it toward the line, and it falls in fair. Dunn rounds first, he puts the brakes on. And Ludwig looked a bit confused, thought that one might have been in foul ground, but it hit the glove with his back foot in fair territory. So Lucas Dunn finds himself aboard, and Jared DeSantolo will make an appearance with 2 down.
And it looked like Ludwig had a beat on it. I mean, he had to come in a long way, but it looked like he lined it up to make the catch on the run. I guess just at the last second, he couldn't quite corral it. So it extends the ball game. Lucas Dunn will reach on the E9. We'll see what DeSantolo has in store. So far today, hasn't picked up a hit, but for a guy that came into the day hitting .375, he's got a chance to add on.
So Dunn, a very short lead off first base as DeSantolo looks at a first pitch fastball down in the dirt. So Hyannis, for the time being, fending off defeat. See what DeSantolo can do. Been aboard twice, although none courtesy of a hit. 1-0 on the way. Fastball, a called strike, painting the outside black. So Heflin kicking some dirt off the rubber before a 1-1. Dunn still maintaining that ever short lead off of first base. Left-hander Heflin staring him down. Now looks back toward DeSantolo, the pitch. Cut on, missed a breaking ball. Dropped in a good one on the outside corner. It's 1-2.
Yeah, so they're actually going to rule that play a hit for Dunn. Of course, like we talked about, a tough play for Ludwig coming in. And I guess they ultimately rule it was a pretty tough play to come up with. So as a result, Dunn's awarded a hit. That's the 4th of the night for Hyannis.
But DeSantolo 1 strike away from ending the night. The 1-2 from Heflin outside. Trying to go back to that same spot on the outside corner where he picked up a couple previous calls, but instead, the count will leave it at 2-2. So Hyannis being a bit pesky here in the 9th inning. A base hit on a tough play down the line from Ludwig. That's Lucas Dunn over at first base, the beneficiary, the 2-2. Breaking ball, chopper right side, foul. So DeSantolo kicking some dirt out of that left cleat. Now staring at that black-colored bat before stepping back in. Count stands at 2-2. Eflin with the baseball in his left hand now comes set at the letters. A breath and fires. On the ground, left side. That's going to get through into left, a base hit. Pulling up at second base, Lucas Dunn, and Jared DeSantolo finds himself aboard and keeps the train moving. Here's Brooks Carlson.
Yeah, and DeSantolo's really swinging it well against left-handed pitchers. And again, that's something that kept him out of the lineup a lot of his sophomore year at Florida Atlantic. Now after that base hit, he's 5 for 10 against southpaws on the summer. He's showing it doesn't matter who he faces. He can put the ball in play and he can find himself some base knocks.
So DeSantolo has had himself quite the summer. He came into tonight at .375. And picking up another hit. He's been aboard 3 times now. And Brooks Carlson digging into the right side. So Heflin being forced to work a little bit more than perhaps expected in the 9th inning. 2 down, Hyannis putting up a miniature rally. See what the Sanford product can do. First pitch, a breaking ball, misses away. Well, it would take a miracle, but we've seen crazy things happen in baseball, and there's no clock in this sport. Got to play for all 27 outs. Exactly what Heflin is trying to do as he kicks and fires. 1-0 pitch catches the outside part of the zone. Carlson removes the left foot from the batter's box to look toward Chad Gassman. Count stands at 1-1. Runner at second is Lucas Dunn. And the man aboard at first, Jared DeSantolo. 1-1 from Heflin, breaking ball. Called strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Heflin's done a nice job working east-west in the zone. He's been painting the corners ever so well. He's got 2 strikes on the right-handed hitting first baseman Carlson now. The 1-2 pitch from Heflin. Bouncer back up the middle. Hughes fields it on a hop. He'll go to second base, and that ends the ball game. So Harwich hangs on here at home at White House Field for a 6-0 win over Hyannis. They improve back to 500 and snap a 2-game skid. They're 7-7 on the season. Meanwhile, for Hyannis, they drop this one to fall to 2-10-1. 6 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. The final line for Harwich. No runs on 5 hits and 3 errors for the visiting Harbor Hawks. And Lyle, we talked about it a bit back on Wednesday. The offense was so dangerous against Falmouth tonight, coming up just short. They had some hard contact here and there, but really nothing to speak of.
Yeah, and it's just about doing it consistently because, again, no team in the Cape's going to put up 0 runs every night. No team in the Cape's going to put up 10 runs every night. So it's about finding your balance and finding your consistency both on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball. Tonight, just not enough going offensively. You had the 2 hits from Anthony Servideo. That was a bright spot for Hyannis tonight. But aside from that, just couldn't quite put together enough offensive rallies. And as a result, Harwich kept adding on. They emerged victorious. For Tyler Madison, who got the start tonight, we talked about it already, Brendan. Kind of just one of those days where he didn't get a whole lot of breaks that went his way. Not much was put hardly in play against him. It was just a kind of lot of C&I, dinky little base hits. And as a result, he racks up 3 earned runs. So that's just one he's going to have to let go and come back for the next time because, like we talked about, the line not really indicative of how he pitched. He threw the ball well, but more for Hyannis. The bigger story tonight, they just couldn't find enough on offense, and it's something they're going to have to flush and try to get back to tomorrow if they want to pick up a win against Chatham, who came into tonight first place in the East.
Well, you summarized it pretty well. The pieces just not falling into place tonight for Hyannis, but the Beauty Bell Baseball, you get another chance to rebound tomorrow, and Hyannis will travel once again on the road to Chatham for a 7 o'clock start. But once again tonight, the final score 6-0. The Harwich Mariners emerge victorious. So we'll talk to you tomorrow night from Chatham. But for now, Brendan Howe and Lyle Goldstein signing off. We thank you so much for joining us.